Hey, I want to thank you for choosing to watch the podcast this week. You know, I was just reading testimonies and different things that people have sent me from the website of how the podcasts are helping you and how they're encouraging you. And one in particular that I just read before coming over here. It was from a sweet girl in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. But she was just saying that, she said, Terri, your testimony is me. And, you know, she was just saying how she had been watching so many of the podcasts over and over and over for several days now, and just how much it had ministered to her. But it just makes, you know, it makes you realize how God's no respecter of persons, neither is the devil. We've all been through all kinds of stuff in our lives. Sometimes you look at people and you think they probably hadn't been through much. But you never know what they've really been through until you get to know them. But I'm so glad that my life and testimony is helping you. And not only that, I want you to remember, God never consults your past to determine your future. God has amazing things for you to accomplish during your time here on earth. So it's time to get with it. It's time to get serious. And you know, this month I'm talking about making a dreams notebook, basically, getting your dreams and your goals on paper, based right out of Habakkuk 2:2 that says, write the vision, make it plain on paper. How much more basic can it get? Write the vision, make it plain on paper. Sometimes we, you know, make it sound so confusing, or, oh, I don't know where to start, or, you know, that's a good idea, I need to do that sometime. It's not just a good idea. God said, write the vision, make it plain on paper. And, you know, I love teaching along these lines because I've done this in so many areas of my life, so many areas where you might even think it's insignificant. Why would you write that down? But you know what? It's happened. I can't even count how many dreams and goals have come to pass simply by me taking the time, investing time into writing the vision, making it plain, and keeping it before me. That's one of the keys, keeping it before you. Not just writing your vision, putting it in a drawer, and never look at it again. It's consistently looking at it, praying over it, thinking about it. Because, you know, the truth is, you've got to see where you're headed before you start taking steps to go there. And I want you to just take some time to think about, what does God have for you? What are the big dreams and even the smaller goals? What are those things that you want to accomplish during your time on earth? You know, Bob Harrison, he said, if you want to see more increase, you've got to see more increase. In other words, you got to see it in here before it ever shows up out here. And so, you know, I like to take that on even a more practical level. You know, it's one thing to just sit and imagine and just think and dream and just imagine your life being better. What does that mean? But then take it a step further and actually write it down. And you know, I've been telling people for years to do this, and so many people have said, yes, I've got to do that, you know, and I've told them, you know, just go get a 3-ring binder, go online. If you're believing for a car, go online, get a picture of that very car that you're believing God for, write that amount down, put it on that piece of paper, keep it in your dreams binder, and you look at that thing every single day and confess it out of your mouth and thank the Lord that His Word says, if I delight myself in you, you'll give me the desires of my heart. This car is the desire of my heart. And just every single day, keep that vision in front of you. Well, I've told people that for years, and I don't know if they do it. Some do, some don't. Just the hassle of, got to go buy the 3-ring binder, and you know. So we're making it even easier, and I just came out with this new notebook called My Personal Dreams and Goals. And I'm so excited about this. I can't even tell you how happy I am, not only for you, but for me, because I just got this, and I've already started, you know, putting pictures in here of things that I'm believing God for, certain checks I'm believing to give. But I've got samples in here to show you how to get your dreams on paper. And this just happens to be one of my dreams. But it is, you know, for example, to go on a 10-day Mediterranean cruise to Spain and Italy for my anniversary. Got a picture of the cruise ship. And then I write down how I plan to achieve this goal. And if it's just trusting God, then that's your plan. But just, you know, writing down steps to achieve it and keeping it in front of you. But then there's space for you to do it, for you to get your own dreams and goals. You do the homework. All you got to do is tape it in there and write your plan. Write your goal. So I'm excited about this because I'm telling you from experience, it's happened in my life where I have checked so many things off. I mean, even this cruise to Italy, I've got the vision on paper. I've already sowed seed for this cruise. I confess it. I look at it constantly. I'm practically packed, I know it's going to happen. But I did this in one area in particular in my life. I want to show you just exactly how big my dreams book was for my house. Now, this was a house that we built 4 years ago, and I'm telling you, I had all my dreams and goals on paper of everything. Everything from, like some people will just pray, Lord, I need a lot of furniture. Lord, I'm asking you to help us fill this house with new furniture. We need furniture, Lord. Thank you for the furniture. But the Lord says, write the vision, make it plain. In other words, be specific about what you're believing for. I went online and got pictures of the very bedroom, the set, the dresser, the armoire. I even put pictures of dishes I was believing God for. Every room that needed something, I got the vision on paper. And do you know that everything that I asked the Lord for came to pass? And I still can't even comprehend how God did it. I mean, it would be random things. Like the guy who built our house, he, like a month, I don't know, right before we moved in, all of a sudden he said, you know what, we came under budget on the house, so I'm going to give you the money that you overpaid. Gave us a check for $12,000. How many builders do that? And here I am believing God for all this stuff. But that's what happens. God will make a way where there seems to be no way. But he's telling you, get the vision on paper. That's your job. You get the vision on paper, and then you know what else? You trust the Lord. You don't have to try to figure out, how is God going to do this? How am I going to get this car I'm believing for? How am I going to write that book and get a publisher? How am I going to start that business? No, your job is write the vision, make it plain on paper, and then you trust God. You trust him like you never have before, that if he said it in his word, he'll do it. So, I want you to get your very own dreams notebook and get started today. Because I'm telling you, once you write your dreams and goals on paper, you will accomplish more in 1 year than you could in 10 years with no vision. So, get your own copy and get started on your dreams, and I want you to write me and tell me about those dreams that are coming to pass. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.